G'day viewers and welcome to a brand new series of Your 4x4.
The first half of this series sees us adventuring along the southern New South Wales coastline, jumping in between the beach and the bush.
And you won't believe what we've got in store for you. Danny's set an incredible itinerary for us and we're going to be doing some of the toughest tracks we've ever done in New South Wales.
As well as some of the most stunning scenery the state has on offer.
So come along for the ride as Danny and I lead you on another fantastic adventure. Your 4x4 is brought to you by Iveco, Trek Hardware, ARB, Cooper, Piranha and Narva.
It's a beautiful morning for the start of our adventure, with the scenic Kangaroo Valley our playground for the day. One of the best parts of any four-wheel drive trip is the mates you take with you. And as always, we've brought along plenty.
Like always, it's the usual crew. We've got Alan and Barb from Piranha. They're along for another one, they wouldn't miss it. Mick, and of course the trip wouldn't carry on if it was for Mick because everyone have to cook for themselves. We've also got some fresh faces as well.
We've got Grant coming along. Now Grant's the CFO of the new company who owns Piranha.
Hi, my name is Grant. I'm from Piranha Off-Road. Going to be stepping into a role that Alan and Barbara have done successfully for many years. Got a lot to learn, a lot to pick up, but I'm learning from the right people.
He's brought his son James along, so he's going to get to see how some of this is all done. So it should be a really good experience for them. Hasn't done a huge amount of forward driving, so he's quite new to this and quite excited.
And then we've got Rob, who at the other end of the spectrum is incredibly experienced. He's from ARB and he's in this mighty, sandy 76 Land Cruiser.
Being a Sydney-sider, this is pretty much my backyard. It's always good to get amongst other people from the industry, get other views. Yeah, it's been a fantastic morning.
A gift from Cyclo Australia, some car care products.
Simon surprised us this morning with a nice backpack full of car care products. Very excited to try those. I've seen them around before and very good, very quality product.
Fantastic, Simon.
Hey everybody, we had a very relaxed start this morning. I won't be like this for the rest of the week. It's pretty hardcore, won't it, Danny?
It'll be a mix of hardcore and enjoyable scenery too. The biggest thing for us at the moment is the fires in the area, so we need to be really mindful of that. We'll be keeping on top of the fire locations every day. We'll be talking to the rangers every day.
We've got Danny, who missed the last trip. He's back once again, organised as he does all his trips. Another epic trip.
What time is Danny rocking up? I haven't seen him yet.
Danny with the big beard?
Yeah, with the long hair. Looks like a bit like Jesus. Who's this guy?
The new guy.
From the drive up from Nowra, it's magnificent going through the valleys. First time in this part of the world and I've heard a lot about it and was more than impressed. It exceeded my expectations.
I've never travelled through this area. I've heard about it a lot. It's mainly the Victorian High Country and around the Brendabellas.
This part of New South Wales I really enjoy because it almost gives you a little taste of the territory. You've got the canyon walls as you're going along, you've got those cliff edges. It's really something we don't see too much of in Victoria. You see a little bit out towards the Grampians is a bit like that. But this area is just spectacular.
I've got a feeling that this trip, that's going to be the epic landscape that we're going to see. And that's what we want to see in this area, is the beautiful waterfalls, the beautiful lookouts, and parts of Australia that not many people get to see.
When planning our adventures, I love to throw some spectacular scenery in amongst the four-wheel driving, making sure we explore as much of the area as we can. And it doesn't get much more spectacular than the Kangaroo Valley.
I haven't been up here before, and I've got to tell you, it is really, really, really special. It's green and it's lush. A little bit further up north, they've had huge fires, but here we are, it's a beautiful sunny day. I haven't seen a lot of this part of the world for a very long time, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it all looks like now and getting reacquainted with this beautiful part of New South Wales. We've seen some waterfalls, we've seen some beautiful scenery, and we've headed off to do some of the touristy stuff, I guess you'd have to say.
It's been a nice easy start this morning. We've ducked out, left Nowra, up to the lookout and the waterfalls over the Kangaroo Valley, and we've finally just hit the tracks. We're in the Morala State Forest. We're aired down. We're on GunRock Creek Fire Trail, and I'm sure that it won't be too long and we'll be in low range.
Headed out onto the tracks and bang, straight away. We've hit these rock steps, ledges, boulders, everything that this area is famous for.
More fun areas over here.
All right, first obstacle of the trip. Nice rock steps.
Yep. Right, turn in now. Nice and gentle front. Left is dropping. Really nice. Straighten up there, straighten up. Slide out, slide out.
There we go, we're down. Sensational.
We have found a cracker of a challenging little section. A little bit puffed. I've run up and down it 2 or 3 times now. And it's my turn to have a crack.
Send that straight to the Australian Tourist Bureau.
And you want to slightly to the right. Come down.
To the right a little bit first, don't swing in yet.
How good is this for recreational off-roading? This is just magnificent. Bloody fantastic.
The first set of rock steps were a bit hairy. The old 76 likes to lift some wheels, and the angle inside the car, I'm sure, felt worse than it looked outside. It was really good to have someone out in front that knew exactly where to place the wheels. Made me feel a lot safer driving a vehicle that I wasn't familiar with, and it was a smooth ride to the bottom.
There was a lot of rock steps going down, which we all had a bit of fun with, and a little bit daunting first off, because obviously you don't know how the rubber's going to traction on the rock because there's a lot of sand over it. I was running around 24 PSI and it just gave a big enough footprint to give grip on the way down. The turnaround we had, even though it was on a bit of a side lane, plenty of grip there.
And I thought this might have been pushing the Raptor to its full ability there. I thought I was going to crush the back rear steps of this thing, but we managed to get to the bottom of that, and it was quite the accomplishment.
Straighten up. Yep.
Straighten up, straighten up.
It's the first time I've done any serious four-wheel driving. Bit intimidating. It's good to learn what the limits are.
Grant's first time doing anything like this, and he's done brilliantly.
And isn't this the perfect environment to learn in?
Absolutely. Thanks guys, great job.
given the car a good flogging already and got into some nice deep ruts and some nice deep holes.
It's a great little technical drop down and it's been really good.
That back left side was not on the ground, was it?
Mate, they look easy.
Yeah, try to. Bit of fun. This is what we got to do.
Before the break, you saw us weave our way down GunRock Fire Trail, a challenge that was easy for some, perhaps a little more daunting for the newbies. Now we've found our second obstacle, and the convoy is about to get wet.
Down behind us is GunRock Falls. It drops off the edge just down there, and there's a little plunge pool with a bit of an overhang and a waterfall. Just a really specky spot.
Brought my son James, managed to get him out of school for a couple of weeks. He certainly loves the outdoors. He found a beautiful rock pool and he was straight in there. A nice warm day like today. You know, it didn't take him long to get his kit off and he was in the water.
Second obstacle of the day. Nice little creek crossing. A few different ways to tackle it. We're just going to drop straight in and go straight across.
A creek crossing and a climb out, which was also a bit exciting. And a few of the guys that haven't done much of that sort of stuff here got a fair bit of experience out of it.
Coming through the water, wasn't quite sure how the vehicle would hold up. Never been at this depth of water, managed no problem. Diff locks made a great difference getting out. But slippery, following someone who's guiding you makes a huge difference. I certainly wouldn't come out here as a first time on my own. Having the right experienced people with the right knowledge gave me a lot of confidence and certainly made it a lot easier to cope with these conditions.
These cars are really hot. They've been working very hard on this temperature. It's about 30 degrees plus. The viscous coupling on this car is locked in nearly solid, so it's going to drive as hard as it possibly can. So I've tied it off with one of these elastic straps. When we dunk into the water, it'll probably go up to about the top of the bonnet just for a few seconds, but that's enough if that's spinning hard in low range first gear to propel that into the radiator and cause enormous damage. But effectively it's that simple, it just stops the fan from spinning, check your direction of rotation, job's done, you're not going to propel it through the radiator, all good. Top tip, take it off when you're through the water.
I was the only person that didn't have a snorkel on their vehicle, so a little bit nervous when I came to the river and seen that, oh yeah, it's about a metre deep. Diesel engine, I thought, she'll be right. The boys will guide me through it. I was going to be last, and I said, nah, I got to be second last, and there need to be someone behind me to tow me out. Got into it, famous, got across the tracks, a couple of really nice big old pools inside there as well, they've been eroded out through the years. Just a beautiful spot.
The weather's been incredibly generous considering what we had in the few days leading up to this trip with heaps of rain, and you can see on the tracks as well that we've had heaps of rain because there is just some pretty substantial puddles everywhere. We've just turned up now to Sandy Creek Campground. The sun's just coming down. You're getting some beautiful dappled light coming through these amazing big gums, and we're all just getting ourselves set up now for a great night relaxing, and Mick's going to put on a great feed.
On a Your 4x4 trip, when it comes to mealtime, everybody has something to offer. Whether it's the head chef, the main taste tester, or even the supervisor.
Beautiful campsite we've got here tonight, nice and open, so we're all going to have a nice relaxing night.
After our first night under the stars, priority one, silencing our rumbling stomachs.
About 6 o'clock I woke up, which was very early for me actually, because I could smell the beautiful smell of croissants cooking.
Lovely little campground, good feed put on by Mike as usual, and beautiful croissants for breakfast.
And of course there was cheese, bacon, ham, all the wonderful things emanating, coffee being cooked by Danny. It was wonderful.
So, sunshine is just coming up there. It is amazing. Everyone's just starting to pack up and we're about to start the day. We're ready to go.
Packed up and itching to get out, we headed towards Morton National Park, where we intended to reach the West Rim walking track and find a beautiful lookout.
We managed to get away on time, if not before, which is quite rare for the whole Your 4x4 crew. Everyone was piled in their cars at 8:30 and we were back out on the tracks.
And come across some serious bog holes and some nice little whoops to drop the cars into.
We found some really big deep holes, absolutely plenty of beautiful fresh muddy water, and we're told it wasn't even here 3 days ago, so it's arrived for us on time.
It's a bit deeper than I thought.
Multiple tracks you can go through, and there are multiple depths. And unfortunately, most of them are not really straddleable. You might like to try to do that, but it doesn't quite work. So you end up into one of these bog hole things. Now, as you know, I hate bog holes, but unfortunately, people decide to have a go at it.
Now, the good thing about a convoy with mixed vehicles is that we can put the biggest truck through here first, the Iveco on 37s, see what it's like, and then choose whether to put the other vehicles through. And it's great having a local on our trip. We've got Rob from Sydney who actually drove these tracks just a few days ago, and apparently 3 cars had to be winched out of this hole alone. So we've got some excitement coming your way. Really fun section of track back there. We've come up against that right-hand bank, hit it really hard. It's pulled the steering in, and I've hit it a second time. It's knocked the bead in off the rim. We've lost a fair bit of air. About 10 PSI dropped out pretty quickly. We've brought it back up to 18 PSI. We'll see how the bead holds, and it's really just a case of keeping an eye on it. The tyre's not damaged, the rim's not bent, so let's keep going. Keep an eye on the tyre, should be all good.
Words or advice from Simon in the big Iveco after he just ploughed his way through there suggested, now anyone in the IFS vehicles maybe hook around and go around the side, but I reckon Rob in the big 76, he'll get through.
Next came the Toyota 76 from ARB. Not quite the same story. It went in, wheels all spinning and stuck, completely diffed out and stuck on the 2 rear springs. You could see the gouge marks in the middle of it.
I tried to follow the Iveco through. Unfortunately, I got hung up and had to be winched out.
Look, if you haven't been in this area before and you see those bog holes, best thing you do is check the depth first. If it's a little bit sloppy and you're by yourself, don't go through it. Because if you get stuck, you're going to be there until someone else comes along, and sometimes that can be a couple of days.
If you're heading out on the track, it's always good to go with a couple of mates so you've got some people to help you. If you can have someone along that's got a little bit of mechanical knowledge, all the better.
The telltale is interesting. You can actually see why that car didn't get through. The differentials hit in the middle there. You can see the clean mud, and on both sides the spring packs have dug straight in, meaning that there is no hope. You're completely diffed out. The wheels were all spinning, the diff locks were working, front wheel was driving, no problems. But that's impossible. You need bigger tyres.
And as a result, creates a few little headaches there later on, where his alternator just decided to pack it in and not put any charge through to the batteries. That everyone piled around, which created a little bit of excitement. We tried everything we could on the tracks, from pushing water out through water bottles to using degreasers and all sorts of stuff and compressed air, but no luck, unfortunately.
So Grant and Al, we've got a little bit of a problem. I think somebody should accompany Rob on the drive out. If anything goes wrong, if he loses power, he's going to need a tow.
Correct.
Bit of a problem now that I've got some mud in the alternator of the cruiser, and I'm going to have to head off to try and gurney it out.
Well, I reckon the Land Cruiser's got a better chance of towing than the Hilux has.
And you've probably got more mechanical
knowledge if we do have to do something. So either we should go back with Rob, we'll go to Nowra, give it a watch, get it running, and meet you guys this afternoon.
With the group now split in two, the rest of us descended into the valley where the track shot off in many different directions. Join us next week to see us continue the adventure.